So I'm going to try to record this pretty quick because obviously with a baby it gets a little hard to do anything for more than a couple minutes. But here is Miss Mirabelle. She loves lights, so I'm sure she'll... What a little cutie. She kills me. She's so sweet. So this video is entitled Why a Natural Birth Isn't Always the Best Birth. And I know, hi Scooter, and I know that that might be a controversial subject to talk about at times because any birth is better than no birth, right? But here's the thing. My birth story was pretty intense. I got induced because my water broke and I wasn't dilating. And I waited a little bit to go in after my water broke because I wasn't contracting enough. It didn't hurt that bad, so I knew I wasn't that far along. But I also didn't want to put her in any unnecessary danger by not going in because that's not a good environment for them to be in without fluid. Long story short, I got Pitocin because I tested positive for amniotic fluid, and once I got Pitocin, I kind of knew the game, and all I wanted was a natural birth. That's the only thing that I wanted, especially after losing one last summer. I was thrilled to be in labor. I wasn't afraid of labor. I kind of been there, done that, and I was really pumped. But as soon as I got Pitocin, the game kind of changed. I refused medical intervention, pain management intervention, I should say, for 10 hours while I was induced with Pitocin, and that was a rough 10 hours, let me tell you. It was pretty crazy. And let's see, yeah, it was about the 9.5, 10 hour mark, and I said, yeah, check me for dilation, let's see how far along I am. And they checked me and it ended up only being at 2 centimeters. When I heard that, my heart sank because I knew that not only is that not a good environment for me, but it certainly isn't a good environment for her. And I was convulsing, shaking, and I looked at the doctor and my doula and my mom, my husband, my mother-in-law, and the nurse, and everyone looked at me like, we know what we have to do. And I did not want an epidural. I mean, it was the strangest sensation to know what I medically should do and what I wanted to do. And in that moment, I had to give up my natural birth, and that was terrifying to me, terrifying. I asked frantically, what should I do? What should I do? Because at that point, I knew that I wouldn't even have the energy to get her out if I didn't get an epidural. But it was so hard to finally make that decision. And to be honest with you, I think I said, okay, let's do it, in a frantic pain state. But you know, when it came time to do it, I was so shaking so terribly that they had to give me a Nuvain, which is like a muscle relaxant, to even get the epidural in. And it was really bad. Like, it was so rough. But once the epidural was in, the game changed. I dilated so fast. I was able to relax. And honestly, it was the best decision I made the entire birth. I mean, okay, there was good decisions along the whole way, but getting the epidural and just doing it was like the best thing, because then I got so much closer to her that I got checked again in a couple hours. I think I was at 6, I got checked again, I was at 9, and then about an hour later, I was ready to push. So when I was ready to push, I was like, how hard can this be? Like, I got this. And she ended up being sunny side up. The dog. Never mind the dog barking in the background. But anyway, she ended up being sunny side up, and I pushed for over 3 hours. Now, I don't know what I would have done if I did not get the epidural, because she was stuck crowning for about 2 hours. And I don't know what would have happened because I was falling asleep between pushes. I was so exhausted. I was up for about 28 hours at that point. And I think it would have been impossible. And she was so far down that, you know, to take her out through a C-section would have almost been impossible. So by the time she actually came out, my epidural had worn off for the most part, maybe like 80%. So I got to feel everything, and that I loved. You know, I loved feeling it all. As painful as it was, I still had that experience. So here's the point. The point is try not to have any big expectations. And if you have a birth that you didn't plan and it didn't go according to your plan, that doesn't mean that it's wrong. And it took me a very long time to accept that. Even if you had a C-section when you didn't want one, if you had an epidural and you didn't think you could, or you know what, if you didn't make it to the hospital in time to even get an epidural and you thought you were going to have one. I mean, all of these scenarios, I feel like that person now that says this, but keep in mind that once your baby's here, it's here, and how it gets here, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, because it took me a long time to accept my birth, but it matters less than this is what matters. And she doesn't know how she came out. She just knows that she's here and she's learning and growing. And I think somebody's hungry. So that's Miss Mirabelle. She's absolutely enthralled with lights of any kind. So she's actually being super good right now. Here's Miss Mirabelle. Oh. Oh, hi Lulu, yes. Hi, oh, no lickies. So thanks for listening, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions about epidurals or anything like that, or I don't know, I guess I wish I would have went in with more of an open mind and gotten epidural sooner so that the birth would have been a little bit more enjoyable. What are these noises? Are you talking? So it would have been a little bit more enjoyable, but hey, now I know for next time. If there's a next time, right? Okay. She's just so cute, I can't help it. Okay, say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.